The lesson.
Oh yeah.
So when you've come over and you've, first sort of experienced Australian rap, do you remember what your take was on it and stuff?
Yeah, I do. I'll be straight up honest. Like, all I knew about Australia before I came here was Home and Away and Neighbours, really. So I had no idea about there was any rap music here, or whatever. You know what I mean? I didn't know how to take it when I first heard it. I remember the first thing I went to was I think one of the first people I saw was Ken Oath, the Culture of Kings in the Hi-Fi Bar in like 2002, and it was it was a shock to the senses. You know what I mean? It's like I didn't have a clue. You know what I mean? And so I can understand when other people from England hear stuff for the first time, in the same way that when Americans hear UK people for the first time. You know, so I remember, it was a shock when I first heard it. I was like, whoa, this is madness. Like, but now it's second nature. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You get used to it within no time.
And then, so when you first got here and you started becoming more familiar, with what was going on here, who were some of the artists that you sort of started to catch on to and gravitate towards?
Well, when I probably the first few people I met would have been Flagrant, who's one of my best mates, my best friends still to this day. All of these people are. You know what I mean? Reason and Checkmate, and they were like and Pegs as well. Like, they were the first few people I met, and so Flagrant took me under his wing and gave me all sorts of help, and introduced me to people and whatnot. It still continues to this day. You know what I mean? Reason took me out on like some of the first interstate shows I ever did. First time we're here in Adelaide. First time I went to Adelaide was with him. So he took me to I did a load of shows with him, a lot of the big obese block parties and stuff. So that was a real, I was very lucky that I made, met some real good people straight away, and I got onto had some real good experiences, like when we all arrived in 2006, Nine High, like within 2 weeks we were on tour with Bliss and SO, like around Victoria, and we didn't know who they were, but we got over here and it was like, wow, some big sold out tour, so that was pretty good. So I think we've been very lucky in that respect, and I definitely can see what you mean about like golden age of Australian hip hop. I think perhaps there was also similar sort of golden age in UK hip hop around a similar sort of time or just before, maybe. You know what I mean? So I've definitely seen a big change, and I'm aware of who the pioneers and the people are who really set the pace for what's happening now. You know what I mean?
And when you first came over here, I mean, you was already doing music.
Yeah.
Home. So when you came here, the dudes already heard of you over here?
No, not really, because we hadn't. So what was it? So I was over here in 2002, and I'd been rapping since 98 or something, but never done anything seriously, really, or anything. I'd just done open mics and stuff. Just that was it, really. And then I came to Australia, and I basically bullshitted my way for the first couple months, and was like, we did gigs, and all this, and we'd never done a gig. Our very, very first ever gig I've ever done in my life was New Year's Eve 2002 at Laundry, supporting Bliss and SO. It was the very first gig we ever did. We cobbled together a set, with some jack beats, and it was pretty bad, but we pulled it off. People didn't know about us at all. No, like when we came back in 2006, we'd done some stuff in between. So and we kept those relationships going, and if people come from Australia to England, I'd catch up with them and that sort of thing. So by the time we came back in 2006, we had a bit more of a ground in, and something we can work with. So it wasn't like going in afresh, but when we landed, we still went hard and just did all the open mics, ran and did all that, played a million free shows, all that stuff,
Now you mentioned touring with Bliss and SO, 06.
Yeah.
Now we're in 2018, so that's 12 years ago.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're one of the biggest groups in Australian rap, in terms of, I guess, commercial success and, consistently putting out music. Now, Can you recall what the tour was like? Because they seem, you know, from watching DVDs and stuff, some pretty like keen to party.
Oh yeah,
Dudes,
it was a party tour. Yeah, let's not get it twisted. Yeah, it's definitely a party tour. Yeah.
And do you have like, you know, some memorable moments from that tour?
Yeah, a couple here or there. You know what I mean? I lost my tag watch in Shepperton. I remember that. I'll never forget that. I was just don't know what happened to it. I don't know, but yeah, that's my main memory.
Was that one of the biggest tours that you've been a part of?
I suppose it was one of the most prestigious. I suppose it was like this was in. They still. I suppose at that point they hadn't really gone to where they are now. You know, they were still playing. Where did we play? Like we played the Corner, I think, like in Melbourne. You know, it's a big venue, don't get me wrong, but you know, it's tiny compared to what they're playing now. You know what I mean? You know, we did all the regional shows, Ballarat, Bendigo, that kind of stuff. You know, so it was good to you know, to see a different part of Australia that we wouldn't have seen otherwise. You know, so and you know, you only go to those places really if you've got gigs to do. You know what I mean? So you know. True. So I've seen probably, you know, more of Australia than probably some Aussies just through the music, which is fucking wicked, you know.
The lesson. Oh yeah.